What is up, everybody? My name is Alex and welcome back to another PvP guide video for you guys that I haven't done in quite a while. And I'm going to tell you guys how RNG works in Wizard101. So I'm just going to show you guys an example. I'm just going to show you guys an example. I'll go out here to a Lost Soul. And what I will do is, this is my deck setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to see. Okay, note how many. Okay, we need to switch realms real quick. We will go to Woo. I don't really care what realm we go to. Woo's fucking fine. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go into a Lost Soul fight. Now, okay, here's what I want to talk about here real quick, and then the PvP guide video is, okay, so look at the cards that we have less of. So for an example, Balance Blades, Balance the Spells, and Shadow Strikes. Now take a look at the ones we have almost 5 slots of, which is Gaze of Fate, Judgment, Lore Master, Mana Burns, and Scorpions. So we'll take a look at those, and we'll go into a Lost Soul, and I'll explain the RNG here. So let's go into here. Alright, so the first thing you'll find is that, okay, out of 7 cards, what we found was a Colossal, so that's 7. 4, which is a Shadow Strike, 4, which is a Judgment, 2 Tower Shields. So out of 6 of those tower shields you packed into your deck, you found 2 towers. You found 1 Shadow Blade, which is very lucky, and then you found a Supernova. So, and then you have the sideboard, obviously. So what we'll do is we'll just kill this Lost Soul, and that's basically how the RNG works in the game. So you notice how many cards you packed into your deck, and then that will be how many times you will find that. That's the greater, and what I'm basically trying to explain here is the greater the amount of cards of whatever spell you put into your deck, the greater chance you will of finding it. Or, as in a attack deck case, where, okay, so you have max Colossals and max Sandstorms, nothing else. So let's go into another Lost Soul battle. Alright, so I'm going to show you how a smaller deck works in the case of RNG. So, alright, look at this. So think about it. You have the spells from your cards, your pet, and your gear. So all we found this round was a Shadow Blade, Sharpened Blade, Shadow Trap, Sharpened Blade, and the Colossals. So then you're going to have to discard these and then pass. So notice how we didn't get a Sandstorm that round because of RNG. RNG decided, hey, we're not going to give you a Sandstorm. There we go. It's not really saying that we don't want to give you a Sandstorm. It's really just whatever the generator itself provides you. So again, we don't get a Sandstorm. Basically, it's saying fuck you. We don't want to give it to you. That's just the easiest way I can explain RNG to you in the game, because this proves that even a smaller deck, you'll still have those deck failures. And I'm not even gonna bother Sandstorming this. I'll just wand it. So what I'm basically trying to explain here is that no matter how much, what your deck size is, or the case in a PvP match, whether you or any battle in general, it's going to be hard to find some of those cards no matter how many times you put them in. Even in a smaller deck, but in a larger deck where you have multiple cards, it's going to be harder to find stuff. And a lot of people don't understand this simple. It's not even just a PvP guide, honestly. It's just a basics guide on Wizard101 How RNG works in the game, because a lot of people need to realize this, because I'll explain this for one thing. So if I'm powering the character and I'm a Storm, and all I like to do is carry some glow bugs, some tempests, some sirens, and I'm just powering, for an example, I guess a level 5 through Trident Avenue. Alright, so what do you think this guy is doing wrong? If he has, for an example, I'll just use a balance, I guess. So what if I have, okay, so let's say I have 4 Sandstorms, 5 Power Novas, and 3 Raws. So that gives me a random opportunity of this. Alright, so what some people don't realize is that in some areas of the case, you can't do this. You cannot do what you're doing with your deck, and I'm going to show you how that harms you. So if we're in a level 1 area, and you're powering someone, I've seen a lot of people do this. Why in the hell would you need a Power Nova? And look at the other cards that pop up. Shadow Blade, Shadow Trap, Colossal, and a Wand. Why, of all things, do you need a Power Nova in that area? This doesn't mean RNG has to do with it. But if you're powering level 1, you bring all those rank 7 spells that are usually used in higher areas, and you're powering someone with a Lost Soul, you're level 100, why would you bring, I don't know, like why would you bring a Raw in any case? Why would, like, shouldn't you just bring a Sandstorm? It's 4 pips. You have a higher chance of RNG favoring you and giving that to you. And you also have a higher chance of killing the mob at the first second. So that's just a simple answer to powering people and like how RNG works. Are you really going to get a Sandstorm? Like, for an example, I just showed you. What, out of all those cards that I get the Sandstorm, like I had 4 Sandstorms, 4 Power Novas, and 3 Raws. So that's just an example, another way of how RNG will bite your ass if you're doing some stuff in game. Okay, so another example, if I'm going into PvP and so a lot of you, I'm going to use an example of me PvPing this private one time. One of my friends that's a private, well, he's not a private, but one of his friends that is private, and he's around Warlord. He was talking some trash, and he was like, I will PvP you and wreck you, whatever. Okay, so whatever. It's not really anything special, it's just, you know, random in-game trash talking like normal. It usually happens in the PvP community, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go into my PvP deck, and I go first. So I go first, and my deck is being marvelous today. So I have 3 balance spells in, and all I get, like, first time, like every time I needed to read an opponent's moves, I'd use a balance spell. Like every time he had to hit up, and every time I punished him with the mana burn or a lore master, I had a mana burn. So basically, I killed him without taking any damage because I dispelled every single type of way he could try and hit me if I didn't have a mana burn or he didn't have pips. So I mana burn when he got a lot of pips, he couldn't hit me. I dispel when he was about to hit me, he loses pips. He never could get an opportunity to hit me because I always got those 3 mana burns. But what about normal PvP? What if your deck's not assisting you? What if your deck's being a bitch with RNG? What if your RNG is really shitting on you that game? So basically, for an example, would be you can't find any lore masters. You can't find any mana burns. First round, you don't find a mana burn. You're going first against another balance, and he's gonna wreck your ass because you don't have a mana burn. All right, so that's pretty nice. All right, so what if, for an example, if this guy gets a critical hit on you? That's another thing I'm gonna talk about with RNG and how it works in the game. So I've seen a lot of videos like, hey, how much critical rating you have and how much block you have has a lot to do with getting crit on. Now, that is true, but there's another part a lot of people forget, and I want to explain that right now. It's not necessarily, it's not necessarily how much crit you have to crit on someone. It's more so the RNG side of it. Like, so it's like more like numbers. So 380 balance crit. Alright, so we got 380 balance crit, but 282 block. I'm going to use my friend Tyler for an example, and he has 40 block rating. Now, okay, so RNG would probably favor you critting on someone with 40 block than you critting on someone with, I don't know, like 200 block rating. So, for an example, if I tried critting with 380 crit on someone with 282 block, notice the margins. There's literally around 98%. Like, there's 98 numbers that are in between there. So there's like, there's a slim chance that RNG will favor you to crit past someone. But there's always that slim margin, and you can crit past them, and that's when RNG comes into play. So every time you get someone lucky gets that lucky crit on you, that's usually RNG doing its usual bullshit. So another thing I'd like to talk about in this game of how RNG works is, I don't know, like, I'm just gonna make this fucking clear because this shit annoys the hell out of me. So I go into Darkmoor, and we'll use Lost Soul as Malice there, for example, alright? Lost Souls do all the work. So we're going to go into the Lost Soul, and this is what happens if we kill him. So, okay guys, I'm going first. I can't get the item because I'm going first. Everybody that goes fourth gets the item, okay? Bullshit, alright? RNG decides what fucking item you get, and it annoys the hell out of me when people say, I have really shitty luck, or depends on what placement you go to get your fucking item. No, it's not that, okay? It's RNG. RNG decides what the hell you're gonna get. And I'll explain this another way that hopefully you guys can understand it. So Malister has the Malister gear for your school, so that's 3 pieces. He has his wand, that's 4 pieces, so that's 4 items that you could possibly get. Alright, so that's not including the motes, the reagents, I'll just say the reagents, the housing items, like a gold skeleton key. That's not also including the athame or the ring that he drops. And that's also not including the amulet he drops. So that's 9 drops you could get from Malister there. And that's not explaining all of them because there's more reagents and stuff that he drops. So you have to think about it this way. The way RNG is going to work, it's not really where you're positioned at. It's just whatever the random number generator that produces whatever item that you're going to get. It's not where you're placed, it's whatever RNG wants to give you. Because Wizard101's system is not based off where you're positioned at to get an item. It's based off whatever number that they have it set, I guess. I can't really explain it too well. I don't know much about this. But I do know it's RNG that does work this. Like, for example, like, there's a random number and how much items you'll get, or whatever, like, that item is, the RNG will favor that. So, it's really just whatever, like, it's basically not even, it's just whatever the code wants to give you and whatever the game's going to give you. That's how most MMOs work. And, I mean, some people just don't understand that, and sometimes it just gets annoying when I hear, like, storms or something, or, like, ices or tanks that go first and they expect they don't get anything to wherever they're placed. And it's like, no, dude, it's RNG. And then, like, when you talk about RNG to them, they're like, what is RNG? Like, they have no clue what RNG is. So this video is just explaining to everybody how RNG works in Wizard101. I hope this helped. If anyone has any more questions about RNG, just comment down below. Like, it's really not that hard to explain. It's, like, so simple that I could probably, like, explain it like that, besides a few things I might not know about. But, I mean, that's generally, like, the basis of how RNG works in the game, whether it be deck setups, in-game sense sequences where that could happen, just anything like drops and what you could get. Like, if you're farming for that avalanche blade, holy shit, RNG must hate you if you can't get that. So, like, see that blade right there? That's probably one of those items that's going to give you a bad RNG. So, oh, I almost fucking forgot. Alright, so this is my theory on pets also. I think RNG has something to do with it also when it makes the pet. So I think whenever you hash the pet, RNG chooses what talents it's going to get. So, like, for this pet, it obviously wanted to get Fairy 6'10", 6'9". Alright, so I think when you hash the pet, it's going to decide what talents you get. So that's just how I see it, honestly. That's how I see pets. Like, the RNG determines what talents it's going to get, and there you go. Like, it's in the code what it's going to get when the pet's created. Kind of like how, if you notice, if you buy, like, I don't know, if you buy, like, where's pets at? If I buy, look at the, where's that? Sea Dragon. If I look at the Sea Dragon, Maycast, Pierce will be right there. First, or Pierce card. Pierce card, I think it was. Because I've seen a lot of Sea Dragons get the same exact thing Luke has, and he trained his Sea Dragon from the start up. He didn't hatch it. So that's just an example of how RNG works, how the code is. But, yeah, I think that's all I can really say for this video. If this actually helped you guys, please leave a like. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Ask me anything. I'll try and reply. Also, if there's anything like you need, like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, but if you like the video, please subscribe. Like, if you enjoy my content and you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. It'll be really helpful. And I will talk to you guys in the next video, so I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.